Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Shri Radhe Jaya Lalita Vishaka Shri Radhe Jai Nitai Gaura Sundar Nitai Gaura Sundar Gaura Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Vaicharanavinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantagoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. All glory to the unlimited millions of Vaishnavas. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Feel free to chant along with me. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyutama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki shunvatam svakatha krishna punya shavana kirtana hridyantasto bhadrani vidhunoti suritsatam satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hridkarna rasayana kathaha Tajjoshanarashva Ashvabhavargavartmani Shraddharatir Bhaktir Anukramishati. All glory to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam in these verses that glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam, which helps cleanse the heart by these regular attendance of the Bhagavatam classes. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 11. The chapter is Prahlad pacifies Lord Nrsimhadev with prayers. That's 7, 9, 11. 7, 9, 11. Naivatmana prabhuryam nijalabha purno manam janad avidusha karuna vrinete. Sorry, hold on. Naivatmana prabhuryam nijalabha purno Manam janada vidusha karuno vrinite yad yad jano bhagavate vidadhita manam tachatmane pratimukasya yatha mukashri naivatmana prabhurayam nijalabha purno manam janada vidusha karuno vrinite yad yad jano bhagavate vidadhita manam Tachatmane pratimukasya yatha mukashri Naivatmana prabhurayam nijalabha purno Manam janad avidusha karuno vrinite Yad yad jano bhagavate vidadita manam Tachatmane pratimukasya yatha mukashri. Please anyone recite.
Naivatmana prabhurayam nijalabhapurno manam janad avidusha paruno vrinite yad yajjano bhagavate vidadahita manam tachatmane pratimukasya yatamukash. Excuse me. Tachatmane pratimukasya yatamuka shri.
Naivatmana prabhurayam nijalabha purno manam janada vidusa karuno rinite yad yad jano bhagavate vidadita manam tachatmane pratimukasya yata mukashrihi.
Anyone else?
Naivatmana prabhurayam nijalabha purno manam janada avidusha karuno vrinite yad yad jano bhagavate vidadhita manam tachat mane pratimukasya yatha mukashri.
Thank you, dear devotees. Synonyms. Na, nor. Eva, certainly. Atmanaha, for his personal benefit. Prabhuhu, Lord. I am, this. Nijalabhapurnaha, is always satisfied in himself. He does not need to be satisfied by the service of others. Manam, respect. Janat, from a person. Avidushaha, who does not know that the aim of life is to please the Supreme Lord. Karunaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is so kind to this foolish, ignorant person. Vrinite, accepts. Yat, whatever. Janaha, a person. Bhagavate, onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vidadhita, may offer. Manam, worship. Tat, that. Cha, indeed. Atmane, for his own benefit. Pratimukasya, of the reflection of the face in the mirror. Yata, just as. Mukha, shrihi, the decoration of the face. We see mukha twice just now. It's like Guru Mukha Padmavakyai, the words emanating from the lotus mouth. The mukha, the mouth, and also mukha means face. Translation and forward by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is Prahlad Maharaj talking, is always fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering, by the Lord's mercy, is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated. Purport. In Bhakti Yoga, it is recommended that a devotee follow nine principles. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam. The service of glorifying the Lord by hearing, chanting, and so on is not, of course, meant for the benefit of the Lord. This devotional service is recommended for the benefit of the devotee. The Lord is always glorious, whether the devotee glorifies him or not. But if the devotee engages in glorifying the Lord, the devotee himself automatically becomes glorious. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam By glorifying the Lord constantly, the living entity becomes purified in the core of his heart, and thus he can understand that he does not belong to the material world, but is a spirit soul whose actual activity is to advance in Krishna consciousness, so that he may become free from the material clutches. Thus, the blazing fire of material existence is immediately extinguished. Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. A foolish person is amazed that Krishna orders, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Abandon all varieties of religious activities and just surrender unto me. Some foolish scholars even say that this is too much to demand. But this demand is not for the benefit of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, it is for the benefit of human society. If human beings individually and collectively surrender everything to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in full Krishna consciousness, all of human society will benefit. One who does not dedicate everything to the Supreme Lord is described in this verse as a vidusha, a rascal. In Bhagavad Gita 7:15, the Lord himself speaks in the same way. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya paritagyana asuram bhavamashitaha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Because of ignorance and misfortune, the atheists and the Naradhamas, the lowest of men, do not surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, although the Supreme Lord Krishna is full in himself, he appears in different yugas to demand the surrender of the conditioned souls, so that they will benefit by becoming free from the material clutches. In conclusion, the more we engage in Krishna consciousness and render service unto the Lord, the more we benefit. Krishna does not need service from any of us. In translation again, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering, by the Lord's mercy, is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated. Please join me in praying. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome everyone to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, begging for the mercy of all these devotees to bless that we may say something that I may say something that is beneficial, pleasing, based on the Vedas, non-agitating, and bring us all closer to Krishna. Here we are continuing to hear Prahlad Maharaj's prayers. We're on verse 11, so he started his prayers in this chapter, and he started out, talking about how he's not qualified to offer prayers. And he was talking even about the brahmanas we heard in the class yesterday. They have these 12 good qualities, but if there's no bhakti, how can they please the Lord? So the qualification isn't these material qualifications, it's the bhakti. And we understand that all the demigods in the last chapter, they were trying to offer prayers to pacify the Lord after Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu. But eventually, Lord Brahma just resorted. He said, Prahlad Maharaj, please pray not and pacify Lord Nrsingadev, because none of the other prayers pacified him. And Lord Nrsingadev was happy to hear from his devotee. So Prahlad is beginning his prayers, and he's speaking like this. And now he's making an interesting point that the Lord does not need service from anyone. And actually, the person serving actually benefits. It's not for the benefit of the Lord. Yeah, this purport is very interesting in that way. Srila Prabhupada starts out, he's saying, of course, when he discusses how these 9 processes of devotional service are for the benefit of the Lord, not for the devotee. Are for the benefit of the devotee, not meant for the benefit of the Lord. He says, of course, they're not meant for the benefit of the Lord. Like, obviously, Krishna, he's complete. The verse says he's always satisfied in himself. It's Aishvaryasya samagrasya, viryasya yashasashriyaha, jnana vairagya yoshchaiva, shanam bhagaitirana. He's full with all 6 opulences. So the other day we made up an acronym to try to remember the 6 opulences. It was Rich San Francisco, RSC, and then we continued. But yeah. So yeah, he has riches, strength, and all beauty, all wisdom, all knowledge, all renunciation, fame. So he's full in himself. He does not need us to glorify him. Srila Prabhupada says the Lord is always glorious whether the devotee glorifies him or not. It makes me think of like at my job we have employee recognition at the monthly staff meeting. And when the other coworkers are recognized, glorified, it brings glory to them in my eyes. I see, oh, wow, look at their nice qualities. Krishna, whether we glorify him or not, his qualities are already there. He's always glorious. We just might not know how glorious he is. He's glorious whether we glorify him or not. But we engage in glorifying the Lord. And then we automatically become glorious, Srila Prabhupada says. Just like, these devotees, Srila Prabhupada himself, he glorified the Lord so much, and he has become so glorious himself, and Jayananda Prabhu. He's become so glorious. Srila Prabhupada has his picture to be placed on the Rath Yatra cart during the Rath Yatra. And so beautiful. So the Lord, he's also cleansing the heart of the devotee. So by practicing these 9 processes of devotional service, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, the mirror of the heart is being cleansed and purified from this forest fire of material existence. Prabhupada is saying in the purport that, we can understand that we don't belong to the material world. It can seem very much like I belong to the material world. I have this material body. Everything in relation to the body is mine, aham mameti. But we're actually spirit souls. And our actual activity, we have so many different activities we engage in, but the actual activity, Srila Prabhupada says, is to advance in Krishna consciousness. To become free from the material clutches. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya dharatyaya. This divine energy of mine is very difficult to control, to overcome. But those that are surrendered onto me can easily cross beyond it. So Krishna is telling us his material energy is obviously very powerful, but he's the one who's controlling that material energy. And just like a great ocean is very hard to cross, the ocean of material existence, but when he surrenders onto Krishna, it shrinks, that shrinks into the water that would fit in the size of a calf's hoof print. So how easy is that to cross by Krishna's mercy, by the Guru's mercy? So Krishna says, Sarva dharman prityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Says, surrender unto me. That's where Srila Prabhupada takes us next in this purport. He's saying that this demand of Krishna to surrender unto him, it's not for Krishna's benefit, it's for the benefit of human society. Normally, whenever someone like hands us to surrender onto them, it's for their own personal benefit. But here, Krishna, he's demanding it for our benefit. He's complete. He does not need our service. And Srila Prabhupada says that, one who does not dedicate everything to the Supreme Lord, he's described in this verse as a vidusha, a rascal. So we tend to dedicate ourselves to so many things in this world, but we just trying to bring our conscience back to understand that we need to dedicate ourselves to Krishna. Dedicate everything to the Supreme Lord because everything already belongs to him. We are just, like Srila Prabhupada was saying, we come into the womb with nothing and we leave this world with nothing. Nothing belongs to us. Ishavasya idam sarvam. Everything belongs to the Supreme and we just get our quota. So we dedicate all of that we're getting to the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada quotes 7:15 Bhagavad Gita in the purport. Namam duskritino mudha. Saying those who don't surrender to Krishna. Krishna saying that the ones whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, jnana, apahirta jnana, that knowledge is stolen by illusion. We have so much illusory knowledge and information out there in this information age, and it steals away our real knowledge. Our soul is covered and not awakened to its spiritual identity, and our knowledge has been stolen by this illusion of Maya, thinking that we're the controller, the enjoyer, the proprietor, and the beneficiary of all the sacrifices. Really, Krishna, the peace formula is that he is the supreme enjoyer, the supreme controller, supreme proprietor. He is the beneficiary of all sacrifices. We learned from Bhagavad Gita, it's the peace formula to understand that about Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada saying in the purport, because of our ignorance and misfortune, one does not surrender unto Krishna. We understand this from Bhagavatam 1:110. The people in this age of Kali were unfortunate. Manda sumanda mateo. Misguided, unlucky, above all, always disturbed, quarrelsome. But we're blessed actually because Krishna comes in different yugas and he's demanding the surrender of the conditioned souls. And in this yuga came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show us how to surrender. So the last word of the Gita, the conclusion, 1866, is Sarva dharman prityaja. Krishna says, surrender unto me. And Lord Chaitanya shows us how to do that surrender by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada's conclusion to this whole purport is just that he says it right flat out, the last two sentences of the purport. In conclusion, 1, the more we engage in Krishna consciousness and render service unto the Lord, the more we benefit. And his second sentence, Krishna does not need service from any of us. So it's like, Krishna, he's complete. It's not that when we serve him, he's benefited. And it's not that, if we don't serve him, he suffers. But at the same time, he is pleased when we offer service to him. But it's not that he needs our service. He needs our love. He is full in himself. So this surrender unto Krishna through the chanting of the holy name, through the 9 processes of devotional service, it is what is given for us to practice in this age. We understand from the Srimad Bhagavatam. At the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear this verse, Krite yadhyayato Vishnu. So what was resulted from Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, dhyayato Vishnu, dhyayato, like dhyayato from contemplating the objects of the senses, that verse. So that was attained then in Satya Yuga, and that which was attained in Treta Yuga, Tretayam yadato makaihi, by performing sacrifices in Treta Yuga, and in Dwarpa Yuga, Dvapare Paricharyayam, serving the Lord's lotus feet. In Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mahamantra. Kalo Tadhari Kirtanat, Hari Kirtanat, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is how we surrender to the Lord in this age, the Yuga Dharma, the Dharma for this age. And we understand also from towards the end of the Bhagavatam, 11.532, we understand that intelligent persons, they engage in this congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam, Sangopangastra Parshadam, Yagyaya Sankirtana Prayar, Yajantihi Sumedhasaha. The Sumedhasaha, the very intelligent people, Sumedhasaha. And Lord Chaitanya, he's Krishna himself, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He comes accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. That verse continues to share. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that in this age, by, quote, by his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descents, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra, or weapon, to subdue the demons. So, we also hear about other weapons in the Gita, like the weapon of remembrance, anudhyasana of Krishna. And these verses that help us remember how to chant and stay engaged in the service of Krishna. The Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2. Such nice verses in there. A lot of the verses we chant in glorification of the Bhagavatam before Bhagavatam class are in there. And these nice verses in succession 1, 2, 14 to 15. This Tasmad ekena manasa. Like with one pointed attention, eka manasa. One should constantly chant, hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead. Who is the protector of the devotee? The Sattvatam Patihi, protector. Sattvatam of the devotees. And then these intelligent persons again. Yad anudhyasana yukta karma granti nibandhanam. This, with sword in hand, intelligent persons cut through the binding knots of reactionary work. The karma granti, the knot of karma, nibandhanam. Internet. And the chindanti kovirastasya, this kovidaha, the intelligent. And this yad anudhyasana yukta, the anudhyasana, the weapon of remembrance. Anudhya, remembrance, and asana, sword. So we also see asana like the seat, and then asana, the weapon, the sword. And how they do this? By remembering the personality of Godhead, they cut down these binding knots. And then ko nakoryat kataratim. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Kaha, who? Ko nakoryat kataratim. Kaha becomes ko in the verse. Ko nakoryat kataratim. Who will not pay attention to these beautiful messages of Krishna. We also hear another nice word, this cutting, this with the astra in Bhagavad Gita 442, the last verse of chapter 4. Tasmada jnana sambhutam Hritstam jnanasanatmanaha. So the weapon of knowledge, jnana asana, jnana asana. See? The jnana asana, and then it becomes jnanasana. Jnanasana, that weapon of knowledge. That chitvainam, this is also like cutting. We had chindanti and then chitvainam. Chitvainam sanshayam yogam. Atishta bharata. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga bharats, stand and fight. So Krishna, he's instructing Arjuna. We ultimately, when we surrender, we come to knowing that we need help from a guru to understand how to serve, to understand how to practice Krishna consciousness. We were talking yesterday in the CC class that the devotees of the Lord are so precious, and these devotees are who give us Krishna. How would we have Krishna without them? So we surrender to the Guru who can tell us, who's seen the truth, Tadvidi Pranipatena. And Arjuna ultimately comes to the point where he just surrenders to Krishna. In 2:7, he says this famous verse, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava Prichami tvam dharma samudha chetaha Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme. Please tell me. Shishyas disciple, Shishyas teham, te aham, I'm your. Shishyas teham, shadhimam, please instruct me. Tvam prapannam, he surrendered onto him. Said, Arjuna, he's saying, now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure due to miserly weakness. It's because of this miserly weakness, and now I'm your disciple, he's saying. He's saying, please instruct me. Tell me what is for certain best for me. He says he's a soul surrendered onto Krishna. As we come to that surrender and through chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we surrender to Krishna. So Krishna, he's coming down in the yugas to share with us how to come to him, just like we understand in Bhagavad Gita 7-8 verses of chapter 4, yada yada hi dharmasya and pritranaya sadhunam. He's descending in these many incarnations, or Bhagavatam 1:328, Eke chansha kalapumsa. Krishna's two Bhagavan Swami has so many incarnations, and he's coming to deliver these souls. It's not for his benefit that our service is done to him, it's for our own benefit. And just like the two birds in the tree, he's guiding us from in the heart. Bhagavad Gita 2:22, it has the verse from Shaitashvatara Upanishad that talks about the two birds in the heart. And one is the enjoying bird, and he's looking at all the fruits on the trees and trying to enjoy the material world, and then the observing bird, Krishna, he's just watching him, waiting for him to turn to him again. We are Krishna Bahir. We have turned away from Krishna. What is that? Krishna Bahir Mukha. We've turned our face away from Krishna. There's Mukha again, face. But he's waiting for us to turn back to him. And we take shelter of him through chanting the holy name, just like Draupadi. No one could save her. She was in the assembly. Dushasana was trying to disrobe her, pull off her sari. She's asking for help from so many people, and then finally she just raises her arms in the air and Govinda, Krishna, please save me. And he starts sending her unlimited sari to protect her. So no matter how much sari Dushasana is pulling off of her, she is not becoming unclothed.
Jana, somehow you're unmuted, at least on my side, the last minute or so.
Am I muted now? I mean, unmuted now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that I clicked the button there. Sorry. Yes, I understand from Dhruva Maharaj that, yeah, we take so many shelters in this world. And then eventually we're like, okay, we try to get shelter from the Lord. And Dhruva Maharaj, he was trying to sit on the lap of his father, but eventually, when that didn't work out, his mother said, well, yeah, you have to turn to Krishna to help you. I can't help you. So he went to the forest, and then he spoke to, and then he prayed to Lord Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhruva Maharaj he turned to Krishna for the shelter. And I remember this one pastime I experienced in the New York ISKCON temple, Radha Govinda Mandir, where there was a scarf that had been lost. And the devotees were trying to find it. And the late Krishangi Mataji Prabhu, daughter of Mother Kamagiri, Srila Prabhupada's disciple from Cleveland area, she said, of course, we're all trying to help and we'll all try to help. But she said, I can't help you. She said, you need to ask Krishna. He's the one who can help you. It's so amazing. We all try our best, but we understand that only Krishna is the one who can help us. And he can help us through the devotees as well. Like there's that story of like the person who's out on the sea, right? And he's calling out for help, and a helicopter comes, and he's like, "No, no, I'm waiting, I'm waiting for God to save me." And then, a lifeboat comes, "Oh, I'm waiting for God to save me." And then the Lord tells him, I came to you in all these and all these other ways to come serve you. I mean, to come help you. Um, yeah, but Krishna doesn't have any need for service, but we have these so many needs, and we also have our spiritual need. So without that spiritual want being fulfilled, we will not be satisfied. We have so much material greed. So some devotee was saying there's need and greed, and the words are similar, right? But there's need and then there's greed, and greed has GR in front of it, grr, and it makes you grr. I want to get more. I want to get more. Then we also understand in so many ways, yes, we're just offering humble prayers, but it's like the little child when the child tries to babble, the baby tries to babble and like, pleases the father just by, trying to say something, trying to give something. Not only in that way are we little babies helpless, Srila Prabhupada reminded us to chant and cry, chant Hare Krishna like the baby crying for the mother, in desperation. I need you, Krishna. Where are you, Krishna? Um, we understand that the holy name is so powerful. We're trying to understand that more, but the scriptures tell us, Namachintamani Krishna. So we understand it's the desire stone. But like Yashodeva Prabhu often says, an example at the Bhakti Yoga Center, that when there's like a diamond in the hands of a child, they don't understand how precious it is. They'll just, maybe they try to play with it and bite it and, random things. We just don't understand, how amazing what it is we've been given. The holy name is so powerful. So, it's Abhinatvam Namanami, no, it's non-different from Krishna. So we need to take that medicine, the holy name that's being administered by the spiritual master, and take it according to the prescription on the bottle, Then we'll get the right benefit, and the material existence will be cured. Not to come here taking more births and births again, and understanding that what is the real goal of life? Nate vidu svarta gatim hi Vishnu. Whereas Bhagavatam, again, chapter 2 of Canto 1, is telling us the goal in 9 and 10th verses there, Jivasya tattva jigyasa, to inquire into absolute truth, dharmasya pavargyasya, or, hambramasmi. Yeah, just, now there's that other phrase, now it is time to inquire into the absolute truth, atata brahma jigyasa. So we're all in this hospital, trying to be cleansed, in this hospital of the material world or the prison of the material world, trying to gain parole. So we're in the hospital, Krishna's cleansing our hearts as we practice these 9 processes of devotional service. And when someone's in the hospital, they have diseases, and it's not surprise that the other people in the hospital have disease. It's no surprise that we have disease. Or if you're in the shower and you're trying to clean off the dirt, why are we surprised there's dirt? Like, we're in the shower. It's not surprising, and it's good that we're clearing off the dirt. So we don't need to be surprised and criticize and be surprised that, there's some dirt around. Because, yeah, of course there'll be dirt in the shower, and you don't judge someone for being in the shower and removing the dirt. So like that, we don't need to be surprised about the uncleanliness. We just keep being grateful that this Chaitya Darpana Marjanam, this chanting of Hare Krishna, can cleanse this dirt from the heart and reawaken the soul to its actual constitutional position as a loving, servant of Krishna. And just, trying to remember Krishna at all times through chanting the holy name. There's this one story of this devotee who was taking out the garbage, and then another devotee said, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." And he said, I'll show you how to do it. So then he started taking out the garbage. And as he took it, as he carried it, he said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He just, adding that chanting to whatever we're doing in our life. And remembering Krishna, even, through verses are a great way to remember him. We'll always promote that. Sarvasya chaham hridisani visto matas smritir jnanam aponam cha mata. And Krishna is giving remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And how can we remember him? Can remember him through reciting verses like Gajendra. Srila Prabhupada talks in the purport, the end of the canto. In the canto where Gajendra's pastime is taking place, that Gajendra, his leg was in the mouth of the crocodile, and he was in great distress, but he was able to remember a prayer that he had learned in his last life, the verse that he had learned in his last life, and he was able to cry out to Krishna. We also understand Prahlad's humility in this verse to be saying, yeah, you don't need anyone's service. And the humility is just understanding the fact as it is. That's humility, is the reality that Ishavasi midam sarvam, everything belongs to Krishna. And Purnam, Krishna is complete, he's full in himself. But this humility is needed for chanting Hare Krishna as well. Trinadapi Sunijena. Chant the holy name in a humble state of mind. Srila Prabhupada would encourage us to chant 24 hours a day. Would always say, if you have some time, chant Hare Krishna. And although Krishna doesn't need our service, he is pleased when we offer something with love. He says, offer me flour, fruit, water, whatever you do, everything you do, offer it to me. And, we will benefit. Like Srila Prabhupada would say that we're not the loser when we surrender to Krishna. And Krishna's Traitragya, he remembers everything, little thing we've done for him, and he's so grateful. He's come in the deity form, the Arta Vigraha form, giving us a chance to see him and to serve him and to decorate his lotus face. And just as this verse example is saying, when the face is decorated, the reflection in the mirror is also decorated. So when we decorate Krishna's face, we'll see that we also will be decorated. We are made, like we understand, we're made in God's image. So it's not that because we're human, God appears human. It's that, not human, sorry, appears with this two arm. It's because we have these two arms. Krishna has these two arms. We have these two arms. So we're this reflection. So when we serve him and decorate him, we see that we look in the reflection. We look in the mirror, we see, we're also decorated. So we just need this eagerness and enthusiasm to follow the dictation of the Supreme. Follow the dictations of Guru, Chaitya Guru in the heart, so you grow to understand more. Understanding from hearing the Super Soul as we advance more and hearing from the Guru outside of us, to help us understand, if we're not so in tune yet, still trying to understand and connect the Super Soul. And no matter what condition of life we are in, we can chant Hare Krishna, can chant the holy name. Bhagavatam 6:17-28 talks about how the devotees solely interested in devotional service, they never fear any condition of life. And we can chant Krishna's name in any condition of life. Whether one is purified or impurified, whatever condition he's in, this is the Garuda Prana Manasa Snan, the bath, Snan, like Snanayatra, Manasa Snan, this bath for the mind. No matter what condition we're in, simply remember Pundarikaksha, the lotus-eyed Lord. You become purified both inwardly and outwardly. And also this name is like even unconsciously by chanting the holy name, one can be freed immediately. Even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:114, it says, Apana samsritim ghoram. Living beings are entangled in the complicated meshes of this material world. They can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. And the greatest fear we understand is falling back down into this cycles of birth and death. In Bhagavad Gita 240, the most dangerous type of fear, falling back down into, especially the 8 million species that are not human, the 8,400,000 species, 400,000 are human, but falling back down in this repeated birth and death and forgetting Krishna. So no matter what condition of life we're in, we just want to remember Krishna, like that beautiful bhajan that Krishna Chaitanya Maharaj sang the one Kartik a few years ago when he spent time in Gita Nagari. And every night we were singing this Radha Raman Kaho Bhajan. Radha Raman, Radha Raman, Radha Raman Kaho. Kaho is saying chant there. And then there's just different verses that say what various conditions you're in, and then say chant Radha Raman. It repeats that stanza. So, like whatever body you're in, whether you're being honored or dishonored, whatever state you're in, chant the name of Radha Raman. So that is the conclusion of this verse, because Prahlad Maharaj is saying Krishna doesn't need our service, but we benefit by giving service to Krishna. And how we do that service, we engage in the 9 processes of devotional service. That's cleansing the heart. And we understand that it's for our own benefit. Krishna is demanding this service for our benefit. He's coming down. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. We understand from Adi Lila, 3rd verse. Chaitanyat Krishnat Jagati Paratatvam Paramiha. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences. He is the absolute truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him. And he's told us what? Chant Hare Krishna. Krishna, again, like Prabhupada was saying, maybe this last example, just to explain this point. Srila Prabhupada was saying that, and we might make this big, big temple, right? But, what big temple does Krishna need? He's creating, he has like 16,000 temples, 16,108 palaces, I mean, what little does he need? And it's for our benefit, or he's creating many universes just with his breathing. And each universe is like a mustard seed in a bag of mustard seeds. So what is this big temple, So Krishna, he just wants our love. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Just surrender everything to him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Manasadeh Hageho. His house, wife, everything, mind is to Nanda Kishore, is for Krishna. So the takeaway is just to engage in service, to chant Hare Krishna as much as possible. So, and here, dear devotees, I think I'm going to end here. And well, maybe I'll just tell one other story about, the greatness of the Lord, and then what's getting away and us serving him, or, our so-called qualifications of external qualifications, just because we were talking about Brahmanas yesterday as well. So, we understand the story of the Brahmana and the cobbler. But to make a long story short, Narada Muni, he told this Paka Brahmana that the Lord, when he saw the Lord was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. And the Brahmana was like, what? How can that be done? You didn't. That's not the case. And then when he told the humble cobbler, who just, he's doing his shoemaking and tapping Hare Krishna, and he's told that the Lord is threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. He said, oh, how wonderful is my Lord. And Narada Muni was told by Krishna that, the cobbler's going back in this life, but it will take the Brahman many lives to go back to him. So it's not by these external qualifications and, yes, like, I'm going to do all these things and, Krishna gives Krishna the service from me that he needs. No, it's the humble offering and understanding how great Krishna is. He's complete in himself and he can do anything. So I want to thank you, dear devotees, for your kind attention and for us coming together in this way. I want to say that please, we're inviting any comments, just like how we're so blessed, that Krishna will accept even the little offerings, like the And so if there's any comments, questions, reflections, realizations, additions, subtractions, corrections, some realizations on chanting the holy name, Krishna's kindness, welcome to share at this point. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Devaki Priti, you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your class, your wonderful class. And yeah, I feel like you really touched on so many important points. I can't even list them all. So many important points in our devotional service, and a couple of things that you said that I remembered. You were talking about how we can remember Krishna, and you spoke about how one way that we can remember him is through verses, and you give that example about how Gajendra was able to remember a prayer from his previous life. And you talked about how we have to we're in the hospital in the material world, and we should take the prescription that's been given to us by the acharyas, and about how Krishna helps us, how we turn away from him, but how you mentioned how Krishna is the only one who can help us, and he can help us also through the devotees, and about the different weapons. Talked about Lord Chaitanya. Those are a few. Oh, surrender was a big one that you also talked about. And also, you were mentioning that first verse from Shikshashtaka, Chaitadavanamarjanam, you were talking about that. So yeah, so many important points. And I just had a few things to share that I saw that were quotes that were similar to what you were discussing. So I'll just share a couple of those. I like to share from other devotees quotes that they have. So on the theme of, it was actually really funny because you were giving that example about the hospital, and I saw a quote that was very similar to like what you were talking about in terms of that from Bhaktivedanta Maharaj from Spiritual Warrior 2, chapter 4, and he says, each of us should try to become a dedicated servant, no matter what our outer circumstances. Service is a process of cleansing and healing, just as if we were in a hospital. We take shelter of a spiritual teacher for the same reasons we go to the hospital, because we are sick and recognize that we need help. As patients, we willingly take medication, follow the doctor's orders, and accept the care offered to us in that environment. Because all spiritual people are not exactly the same, there is no single type of illness that afflicts them. Spiritual diseases come in a wide variety of forms and intensities. The beauty of the situation is that such persons at least have the chance to recognize the problem and put themselves in the hospital for treatment. If they take the spiritual medicine as directed, they will quickly regain their natural healthy state. And I also saw this quote from a book. I'm not sure if devotees have heard of this book. So Karnamrita Prabhu, who's amazing Prabhupada disciple who passed away some years ago from cancer, he has a book called My Yoga of Expression, where it has poems that he wrote. And in chapter 5, he has a poem that I was thinking that I wanted to share, like an excerpt of it, where he says, find those bhakti yogis who inspire you and embody spirituality. Serve them in joy. Purification comes through service, which removes Maya's veil of illusion and allows the soul's wisdom to shine. Take the medicine of the holy name, the supreme prayer to obtain Krishna's grace. Krishna is present in his name and service. Wherever devotees glorify him, he resides in their hearts. So I had other quotes, but I think I'm gonna just stick with those two. I really liked your focus, especially at the end, about the holy name and us taking that medicine and how we can do it at any time. And yeah, just how important that is. Like that is the process you've been given by Lord Chaitanya. And we're so fortunate that we have that. Thanks to Srila Prabhupada. So just wanted to share that. Thank you. Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I just said thank you so much, and after hearing you share, I'm having a deeper appreciation of the devotees.
Hare Krishna. Very wonderful class. I like how you brought it back to just the chanting of the holy name. I think from time to time, I can speak for myself. It's like, oh, I'll read this thing, or we're looking for, our mind thinks that we're looking for something more, like, oh, help me make this connection and this and that, and oh, this gives me more knowledge on this thing in the material world and that thing. But really it just comes back to Srila Prabhupada and Parampara gave it to us perfectly, which is the importance of the Sankirtan Yagya and chanting the holy name of the Lord. And even from last class that you gave, that was one of the things that I was telling myself to remember, is just like chanting 24 hours a day, as much as you can remember, with everything that's going on in the mind. Like, hey, just chant, like you were saying, the cobbler who, when he was fixing the shoes, just chanting Hare Krishna, or saying, oh no, that's not how you take out the trash, this is how you do it, and just chanting Hare Krishna as he was doing it. So that's something that I want to remember, and I'm glad that you brought it back to that point. Yeah, I'm glad that you brought it back to that point, because really the highest and most perfect thing for us to do in this age was given to us very easily and very simply. And I think for myself, my mind can just be like, oh, let's get some more information, and let's get some more, and oh, let's read this to get some more. But really, it's just the mind concocting so many things on, oh, I can get this knowledge and that knowledge and connect this together and make this connection. But it really just comes down to the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, which was given to us so perfectly, so easily, demonstrated so nicely by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and everyone in the parampara. So I am incredibly grateful for this class. Just to come back to the reminder, I'm needing this reminder on a regular basis. So thank you.
Thank you for helping us meditate more on the holy name and highlighting that point, because I really also feel that, like, yeah, no, like, yeah, we're searching. We already have everything we're searching for. We're searching for even all these different types of connections, even in, like, for me, even in like different spiritual connections, which is nice too, but it's also not to forget that there's the main chanting of the holy name.
Thank you, Baba, for your sharing. I also appreciated it.
Thank you for your sharing. I appreciated it too.
Well, no one has anything else. Oh, I see someone unmute.
Haribo, thank you so much for the class. I just had a quick question. Maybe you can give a couple of pointers on how we can chant more attentively.
Hmm. I don't know what to say. I feel like it can sort of be like different things work for different people. So I'd actually be interested to hear Tarkaru. What would you say on that one?
Srila Prabhupada's advice for improving attentiveness when chanting is that you should chant loudly. If you chant loudly, that will bring your mind to attention. And I can say from practical experience, it works very well for me. Others also will attest to the effectiveness of this. Works very well if your mind is wandering. Chant loudly, and even so loud that you startle your mind and immediately bring it to attention. Works very well. Anyway, that's one suggestion. Gradually, attentiveness naturally increases as one's taste increases, and by constant practice, gradually, a devotee learns to see Krishna in everything. Everything reminds him of Krishna, and everything becomes an incentive to chant. Gradually, one becomes addicted to chanting. Chanting of Hare Krishna is addictive. But unlike so many medications and drugs, there are no ill side effects. There are no ill side effects. You will become addicted, but that's not a problem because the supply is limitless. It's free. You don't have to steal to get it. And there are no ill side effects. Addiction is actually a good thing, and it's just completely good. So you can, and the more you take, the better the effect is. You can take limitless amounts of Sri Hari Nam. You'll never OD, and only your progress will accelerate. That's very, very nice. Attentiveness comes naturally with time and practice. Eventually, you can't help but be attentive. It's like eating a good meal. If you have some really nice prasad in front of you, and you're really hungry, you won't really be distracted by anything. When you get that prasad in your mouth, your attention will be completely focused on how wonderful it is. That will happen by chanting without offense, gradually reducing offenses. And you don't even have to endeavor separately to avoid offenses. By chanting, you'll become purified of the tendency to commit offense. Chanting fixes everything. It's the best medicine. It does everything. Everything you want to do, it does it all. It's amazing. It does everything. And actually for many things there is no other way. There is no other way. There actually is no other way. If you want to purify your heart, if you want to overcome all kinds of anarthas, if you want to modify your behavior in this way and that way, chanting is actually the only effective means. You can try to restrain your senses. You can try to modify your behavior. None of it will work in the long haul if it's not accompanied by chanting Hare Krishna. Chanting will rectify everything, all in one neat, easy step. You just chant and hear, and everything happens. It's very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hi, thank you for that nectar, Tarka Babu. I'm sure we're all relishing it. Mother Jambavati, Prabhu. We see that you've unmuted, but we can't hear you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram.
I wonder if she can still hear us.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just write. Well, okay, so she's unable to unmute, I think. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
so her audio's not working.
Okay, well, we are being bereft of hearing her nectar.
Oh, it looks like she's trying to reconnect. Maybe it's gonna work.
Okay. Nigamakalpa turur galitam phalam shukamukadramita drava sangitam. Pibata Bhagavatam, Pibata drink at Bhagavatam, Pibata Bhagavatam rasam alayam, Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavakaha. I'm just gonna talk until she unmutes. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It is emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. And therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, even though its nectarian juice is already restable for all, including liberated souls. Like Taraka Babu said, when you're hungry, yeah, you don't really need to be attentive to, you don't try to be attentive to the food. You just, it just tastes so good. You're just eating it, relishing it. And there's that Bhagavatam verse about how nourishment comes automatically. What is that? The hunger, automatically satisfaction, and all these other things come automatically when eating. What is that one? Okay, I don't know if she's going to be able to unmute. I think that verse is in the 11th canto. Who knows that verse?
Y'all should even know what it is.
Who can find it first? It is a it's a competition. I think I found it. Oh, good. Mother Jambavati is writing what she said. And so it's Bhagavatam 11:242. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. So Mother Jimavati says that chanting is the gold mine that we all have. As a foodie, lots of times when I shop, if I don't take stock beforehand, I purchase items and then realize I already had the item when I get back home. That's a wonderful example.
Mm-hmm.
We want to shop at the marketplace of the holy name. What is that song?
Kalakanta Prabhu chants that, right?
Yeah, where
I think you were singing it in the other class.
Yeah, I sang it last class. Nityananda's marketplace. He's the seller. Auntie Achuta Mataji Prabhu. Looks like you have your hand up.
I do. So I was thinking what's really been helping me and actually has always helped me is chanting in the association of devotees, particularly the pure devotees. So recently I rejoined the japa line with Mother Ishupanishad and Jambavati in the morning. So also having that accountability for showing up at a certain time, when it's recommended during the Brahma Muhurta to chant. That's also, very helpful. And so sometimes I get distracted by hearing other devotees chant, but like when I hear Srila Prabhupada chanting or my Guru Maharaj chanting, that always helps to refocus me and get me just really tuned in to the holy name. So also on YouTube, you can find a variety of Guru Maharaj's chanting japa. So if that's your thing, I know it's very helpful to me. And if just have them in the background. And it always used to help me when Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was present on the planet to chant in the temple room in his association. So I know recently Divya and Sarvatma Prabhu's offered their home for chanting in association with the devotees. So that's another opportunity. So yeah, I find that very helpful.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. It's really nice to hear what works for everybody and get ideas. And it's like chanting an assembly of devotees reminds me of, japa retreats where you're all focused on that. It really harnesses the mind. Targa Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Srila Sanatana Goswami quotes a verse in Hari Bhakti Vilas, which I think is from Garuda Purana, but it's actually mentioned in a few places, states that the effect of chanting in the temple is multiplied 1,000 times. So it's something to take advantage of. If you want the benefit of hearing and chanting the holy names, chanting in the temple, the benefit is increased 1,000 times. And before the deity, it's even more than that. It's described as limitless. Another good place to chant is a Goshala, but it's not as good as the temple. The verse describes a few different places, and there's a gradation. Each one is better than the other. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I remember that a cowshed is one of them. I think cowshed, the benefit is twice, but the temple, it's 1,000 times. That's a lot. It's very significant. There was a time when devotees always chanted in the temple room, never anyplace else. Everyone would be packed in there, and it was very nice, very intense. The combination of the temple and all of the devotees chanting together created an extraordinary atmosphere. Very, very wonderful. Very intense, and talk about attentive chanting is very, very hard to chant inattentively under those kinds of conditions. It's it's amazing the effect. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what about like our home that is also a temple? Like the temple room in our home?
Yeah, well, the home, the ideal is that we make our home a temple, and or you may have, a particular area that you designate as a temple. If you have the Lord's form there, then that can also work in the same way. But the difficulty is that our home is also where we do everything else. It's, I mean, all kinds of business goes on there. Um, some good, maybe some not so good. Um, it's also the place where we sleep, where we immerse ourselves in Tamagun. So, a lot of things happen there. So it's a mix. But the temple room is a place where only devotional service takes place. It's very, very pure, and it is not different from Vaikuntha. It's the Lord's abode. It's a transcendental place. It's very wonderful. You can establish such a place in your home, and that can work very well. It's true. But there is something uniquely special about a temple that is, dedicated simply to the Lord and his devotional service. Um, but Krishna's everywhere. Krishna's in your heart, and as a devotee progresses, the quality of his chanting is positively affected all the time, everywhere, because the devotee appreciates that he's always in Krishna's presence. Krishna's in his holy name. Chanting before the Lord is the most effective of all. But when you're chanting the holy names, you're chanting before the Lord. So there's that. But you have to be able to appreciate that this is Krishna. Um, Sometimes in the beginning, one may think that I'm just vibrating some sound vibration, and maybe it's transcendental, um, but gradually a devotee comes to understand how the holy names are none different from Krishna himself. Radha, Krishna are there. Um, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda present in their name. And you can serve them directly just by hearing and chanting. So, very wonderful. These instructions that sometimes appear in Shastra for our encouragement are often intended for those who are very neophyte. But for devotees who have taken up serious chanting of the holy names, they've accepted a vow to chant a minimum of some number of rounds. In our case, we chant a minimum of 16, but whatever one's vow may be, um, they're all different people with all different practices, but um, so I just thought I'd mention that, the temple, but factually for devotees, many devotees are beyond that. They're at a point at which wherever they are is Krishna's temple. So home, yes, also Krishna's temple. If you absorb yourself in hearing and chanting, you can live always in Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you for inspiring us, Tarka Prabhu, to just think about the holy name more and glorify the holy name. And I'm really looking forward to the next time I'm in the temple to chant more attentively, and also to try to make the home a temple, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur said when he entered his home. It's like he's entering Vaikuntha. He made it that way. And then trying to have this body be a temple where I'm chanting Hare Krishna in it.
Very good. Maybe we can all meet tomorrow morning.
Ooh. What time we talking?
It's the first Sunday peace program that's restarted. So maybe we can begin maybe the Sunday mornings chanting together.
You said 10:15?
No, I just said maybe we can just start tomorrow because it's also the beginning or the.
Yes, I was wondering what time you said.
Oh, I don't know. The earlier the better.
There'll be breakfast as well.
Right. How about that?
Sangha, holy name, Krishna Katha,
Agari just
Prasadam.
Yeah, Agari just sweetened the pot. There'll be prasadam afterwards. So that means that we'll have wonderful association twice. We'll have chanting, of course, together, and then breakfast prasadam. And then later on, it's the Sunday feast again.
So it's like an association sandwich.
There you go.
Okay, what time are you going to be there, Mama Jamba?
Realistically, probably at 7.
Okay.
Maybe in time for Hari Chakra's class, Hari Chakra Prabhu's class, or even before. What say everyone?
I'm there every Sunday morning.
Yes,
and,
yes, we know you're there, Jagannath Pandit. You set the lead.
No, Hare Krishna also is there. And some other devotees. You were there once, Jambavati.
Yeah. How long
Ajamil
ago
has
was
come.
that?
A Sunday morning might be a good time for devotees, even devotees at work.
Yeah,
Also
about
for
that.
Mangalarti at
Yep.
that time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice to chant in the temple during the japa period.
Right.
Really wonderful.
And it's starting to get, well, it's warmer now, so it's easier to get out when it's earlier. Well, thanks for your encouragement, Jagannath Pandit Prabhu. Now I just need to follow through. Everyone just needs to follow through. I think the last time I was there, you guys had just come back from India. And you were still floating.
Is there time for me to share this quote on surrender that I wanted to share earlier, Joanna?
Yeah, you put it in the chat.
Might be a little bit hard to put in the chat, but I can.
Okay, yeah, share that, and then maybe we can end thinking about surrender in the holy name. And Yashadev Prabhu, what day? You exceeded me. We'll end before 8:30, so then you exceeded, as you ended at 8:30 the other time, so you can surpass us.
Do you want me to try to put it in the chat or just read it?
Yeah, read it.
Okay.
And then we'll end before 8:30.
Okay. So this is from Reflections on Sacred Teachings, Volume 1, Shri Shikshashtaka, verse 8. I thought about it because you were talking about surrender earlier in your class. Krishna does not ask for anything that he does not already have. He simply asks us to give up the false illusion of proprietorship that causes our suffering. Everything follows his path and resides under his control, but we think differently, therefore we have to suffer. Due to our materialistic mentality, the word surrender in our English language carries a connotation of defeat caused by a stronger power who forces the weaker party to surrender. One has to surrender since they have been overpowered and have no other choice. Many view surrender as a commitment to an insecure or hostile situation. The mindset will accompany us. However, if we consider ourselves to be in danger, in pain, lost, or suffering, and surrender in this mood, the act of surrender compares to a small child who runs and surrenders into the arms of the mother or father in order to receive love and protection. Actually, surrender is literally falling back in love with the Lord in the land of love and coming to the embrace of the Lord. In this sense, surrender has an entirely different connotation. It no longer refers to the grudging situation of being overpowered and thinking, now we have to act against our will due to their force and will now lose our individuality and identity. No, it is the opposite, because we actually reclaim our real identity in our eternal associations with the Lord.
Jai, thank you so much. We reclaim our eternal identity and the associations with the Lord through the Srimad Bhagavatam class, which has allowed us all to talk about chanting Hare Krishna and in glory of the Srimad Bhagavatam as we praised it at the start of the class. Mad eka bandho mat sangin, mad guru man mahadana, man nishtakara, man nistaraka mad bhagya, mad ananda namostute. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Lila Stava 415 Sanatan Goswami. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.